जीत का है जुनू तो हार सोचना क्यों, जब जिंदगी है एक ही तो दो बार सोचना क्यों. That attitude is something which is there in all of us. We don't care. It's like, don't give a damn, it's one life, let's go for what we want. I am one of the few composers who, you know a lot of youngsters listen to, and a lot of youngsters,
Right.
relate to me on, not just musically, just maybe how I connect to them on a human level.
Hi, Mal. Welcome to Instant Bollywood.
I
I like the look, man. It's suiting you. You know, the winter cap and the beard. It's amazing.
It's just called not wasting time on your hair. Otherwise, we'd be even more late for the interview.
No, but it's suiting you, man. But it's suiting you. You've been tagged as the youngest, most promising melody maker of our time. You know, and also a flag bearer for the original music in India right now. Tell me, how does a musician feel when he receives such kind of appreciation from the audience? How does that make you feel right now?
I think that's really sweet of you, if that is the tag that I'm being given. But it's all the love of these, young kids that, listen to my music. And they are the reasons because of whom, I feel like working hard. I see so many times that my songs, are not just songs for some of them. It's been their story of their life. I've seen a few of my fandoms tell me, that some of their friends got married to Bol Do Na Zara, or like they dedicated Sab Tera, while he was proposing to a girl. So somewhat, I feel responsible to give happiness, into their lives through my music. And it's not just about making hits and, being the youngest successful. I think it's not anything but the love that they've given me that makes me feel responsible to keep doing better with every song. So that's all I'm trying to do.
That's really sweet of you to say that. Well, Parinda and Mehu Tera, Mehu Tera Saath got a great response from the audience as well. Yeah, it's doing really, really good over there. You said this album is really close to your heart and it's really important for you. And there are many, many reasons that it's very close to your heart. I want to know a few of those reasons when you say it's very close to your heart. Can you tell us that?
So I'll say, like, I was a baby when I signed this film. I was 26 years old, and huge responsibility,
Okay.
coming from doing an Azhar, then doing an MS Dhoni, and then, you know, telling the story of this girl. And what interested me the most, was that we're telling a story of a young girl. I've not done a biopic.
Mhm.
It speaks about the girl athlete in India and how she's fought her way up. And it was a story that, I personally feel I'm honored to be a part of it, with such a great personality
Mhm.
and such an amazing director. It's a dream for anyone to work with Amol Gupte, because if you see all the past work
Mhm.
also that he's done, Tare Zameen Par, Stanley Ka Dabba, the music of Tare Zameen Par. So internally, I was like, wow, this is such a dream come true moment where I get to work with someone like that. So, 4 years down the line, it was a little difficult, because only I was seeing it this way. Because at that point, mere family mein, and like my dad, mom, they're all, we're very close and any involved in each other's career or life and decisions. So both my parents felt, I took up Saina, but I left about 17, 18 films for just this one. And
Are you
they
serious?
personally felt it was not a very good move, because that's not what you do in an industry like under work, and you're delivering and people are accepting. It's a good time to keep doing more, maybe. But somewhere I
Correct.
felt that I was in a space where I wanted to do a lot of original music, and the trend was to do a lot of remixes. This was something that happened in 2017
Mhm.
when I signed the film. And the offers that I was getting was, they were big films. I would not name them, but there was nothing
Mhm.
for me as as a musician to grow from there. I felt, okay, what's going to
Right.
happen if I do this track? Like, is it going to make any space into people's hearts? I would always question myself like
Mhm.
that. If I feel, yeah, because see, I'm not averse. I've done about 75, 80 songs. I've also done my share of five,
Right.
six remixes also. So it's just the intent and what value I bring to a song of someone, a yesterday, classic, and without spoiling it, without disrespecting it. If I can do it, then I come on board. Otherwise, I'm happy
Right.
doing what I make personally. I think my original music is reaching out to so many listeners all over the world. So I don't need to fall, I felt I didn't need to fall prey to just just to be around, I should do all the films and all the remixes. Maybe I let that go, and I would not guide everyone to take, steps like me, because I have
Alright.
done that from my own inner voice, and I think that is one thing which everyone should, maybe hopefully take back from this, that no project is big or small. Giving 4 years to a film, a lot of people questioned, why and what, but
Mhm.
today seeing the love and seeing the response to the tracks. Tomorrow, another song with Shreya Ghoshal is coming. It's my debut as a background score.
Mhm.
I've got a 13 track, OA, which will release soon. It's parts from the score, the themes, how it's done in the West.
Mhm.
So this is a dream of a young guy who wanted to do it this way.
You're talking from your heart, so I know what kind of music you have done for this particular film. I want to talk about Parinda. Amal, tell me, it's an anthem song. We have heard a lot of great anthem songs. One of the song that comes in my mind is like Chak De India, right? Parinda, tell me, what does it goes behind making a song like Parinda, an anthem song? How is it different from making a normal song and an anthem song?
I think, first of all, obviously the subject, you need to know who you're making the song for. So I had to, study a little bit about Saina. I've seen a lot of her interviews, her little, attitude of, samne jo bhi ho, I won't care. I will fight that person. So those things, somewhere from that, we also came up with these lines, which I would give 90% of credit, of success to the song to Manoj Muntashir's lyrics. He has written such brilliant, thought-provoking lyrics that even while I was dubbing, the scratch, I was in the zone. It was me singing, thinking that I'm Saina, but somewhere I felt the lyrics move beyond the film also. It is every young person's song. Lyrically, everyone thinks like that today. I think you, me, our generation is that जीत का है जुनू तो हार सोचना क्यों, जब जिंदगी है एक ही तो दो बार सोचना क्यों. That attitude is something which is there in all of us. We don't care. It's like, don't give a damn. It's one life. Let's go for what we want. So I feel, writing such a song and thinking about such a melody comes first. Obviously, you need to understand the subject. Second, you have to have some fire like that inside yourself also as an artist. So these are my beliefs also in the song, where it is my dream. Why do I want to be a bird in the sky when I can be the whole sky? So I choose this song as something which defines me as an artist. So that is something, which will remain special. Getting to sing such a song is obviously a bonus, because in my mind, I thought maybe KK sir or maybe Vishal Dadlani, I would get someone like that to sing this. But it was my director and Bhushan Kumar sir, who both felt, that I had sung the scratch with so much belief and so much gusto that they felt we don't need to change the voice. When it released, I was hoping no one says ki bahut buri singing hai, because I knew the song is good, and a singer takes a song to another level. But seeing the response and seeing people positively speak about my singing, so I can say I'm safe on this one.
No, trust me, I heard the song and I liked it. I loved it. That's why I asked you what goes behind making an anthem song. चलो सिंगिंग की बात आई गई तो अमाल एक दो लाइन हो जाए परिंदा की.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
जलना बुझना बुझ के जलना, मरना जीना मर के जीना, मांगने वाली चीज नहीं है मौका उसका जिसने छीना. गिरना उठना उठ के चलना, चढ़ जा अंबर जीना जीना, याद रहे ये शर्त सफर की, पीछे मुड़ के देख कभी ना. जीत का जुनू है तो हार सोचना क्यों, जब जिंदगी है एक ही दो बार सोचना क्यों. मैं परिंदा क्यों बनूं, मुझे आसमां बनना है. मैं एक पन्ना क्यों रहूं, मुझे दास्तां बनना है. मैं परिंदा क्यों बनूं, मुझे आसमां बनना है.
Wow. It's amazing. That's amazing. It sounds like an anthem song. You see, you get energized, you get really good feeling when you listen to such tunes. Amal, I also want to talk about the background score. They say background score is as important as dialogue in the movie, right? I want to know, according to you as a musician, as a composer, tell me how important is the background score for a particular movie, like, you know, any movie you take, how important it is.
I think it's one of the most important parts of the film. Like, uh, in our country, we give more love and more respect to maybe the songs in the film. But there are
Hmm.
scenes where just a little trinklet of a piano, or just the brush of a harp, something can make you feel so beautiful, and score is like a subconscious narrative happening, So I think now, recently, in recent times, if you see a soundtrack like Uri, which Shashwat did, that
Hmm.
brought to the front like how background score is important. You saw themes from the film reach out and get equal love, if not the same, big more than the song sometimes of the film. There was a theme which was New India, the theme which was everywhere. People loved it. So I think there are people who love instrumental stuff. They like to be taken through that, score. And a lot of us, a group of listeners, I know there are less today, but slowly I'm seeing that also open up where people are listening to score tracks. They know who Hans Zimmer is. They know Brian
Right.
Tyler. They know John Williams. They're listening to that music. We download the soundtrack of Gladiator and we hear the whole score. It takes us through the film
Right.
without watching the film. So it prepares you. So a score, that's what we're trying to do even with Sayana. We've got 13 tracks along with the songs. So it takes you through the steps of this person's life. There is a theme maybe which is the beginning, it's called the exordium. It's the introduction to the soundtrack.
Hmm.
Then we have something called a rally of love and success. Then I have something called 1 point for the sky. So we've got these moments from the film which will, when someone plugs in their earphones and listens to the Sayana soundtrack, they'll be taken through a soundscape of something new, something which will touch your hearts, with music, with arrangement, with lyrics, with singing. It's got it all. And I would say it's a great team effort and a huge contribution by, music producers like Megdeep Bose and my team, Ansh, Priyanshu, a lot of kids from here, along younger musicians, a lot of senior musicians. We've collaborated, got the whole Macedonia Orchestra. Last year the film was supposed to release, but
Yeah.
the lockdown happened. So it gave me, the obstacle gave me another chance to get one of the best orchestras in the world to play for it. And yesterday we released the making of Parinda. So it's the coming together of so many world musicians to create this one soundtrack. And I hope now people hear the whole score and realize that it's important. I took this up because I feel I am one of the few composers who you know a lot of youngsters listen to, and a lot of youngsters
Right.
relate to me on not just musically, just maybe how I connect to them on a human level. So when I will speak about how important background score is, I think that will open up another direction of respect and value to this side of scoring, because I feel we don't credit background scorers enough. I think they are
Right.
together along with the director. They're doing what you're subconsciously feeling through the film. It's the guys who are doing the background score.
That's why I said, right, background score is as important as dialogue in the music. Sometimes you don't need the dialogue, but the background score can lift the scene, right? I'm a big fan of the background score. So one of my favorite background scores from the movie Departed. I love the background score of that particular movie.
There were no lyrics to it, but that theme still is in your head. It's been people's ringtones. I've seen it for years. It's been mine. So I remember it used to come departed.rt in our Nokia phones. We used to have these as our tones. So see, good music,
Right.
wherever, whatever format, lyric, no lyric, if it has an emotion, if it has something which grabs you, I think score tracks also will make its way into people's hearts.
Amazing. So there's a news that you're doing something with Dua Lipa. Also, you're collaborating with her. I want to know, sir. I want to know what's happening there.
So that is really under wraps till now, but it's an official remix of one of her songs, "Levitating," and I'm really excited that
Okay.
she is collaborating with me, and it's a gift to all the Indian fans of Dua Lipa. It's it's got a Hindi verse by Sukriti and Prakriti Kakkad. They've also sung on it. The Hindi lyrics are penned by Kunal Verma. So I'm
Hmm.
just waiting to just drop it and let's see what happens, because it's me coming back to doing a little bit of dance music. A lot of my younger fans miss that side of mine because they've been like, आप बहुत emotional गाने बना रहे हो, so give us one nice dance track. So I think this will be a good one. It'll be dropping in the next few days, and it's huge. Like, it's
Hmm.
a very big moment for me, to be chosen as someone to produce for Dua Lipa. and do something like that. It's amazing. It's a big collaboration for me.
Wow, I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Okay, apart from that, tell me something. What is the one thing that you hate about the trends that's happening in, like in music? If you take music, what is the trend that you hate the most right now that's happening in Bollywood, and you would like to change it?
That's the now, like, it's slowly depleting. It's going to be on its way out maybe in a year or two, because last year, the films all got shut, so they're all coming this year. So there will be the onslaught of recreations, but slowly I think it's onto the listener also. I've always, even in the past, stated I have no problem to remixes. It's the volume. In a year, if there are 100 songs, 80 remixes and 20 originals is a bad ratio for a culture of music which has had legends do such great work. It just shows poorly on us, and it's not to blame just the composers. It's the market, it's the labels wanting that, and obviously it's each their own. People who want to do a volume of that will do it. So it's, from my end, it's very limited. Maybe I'll have 6 originals in the year, maybe I'll do 2 remixes, but I don't think it's something which is working unless it's got something. Like, if there is an Aankh Mare, which is a very good remix, there is a Masak Ali which didn't live up to the original. So the audience is the final decision. I think they are the ones who decide. And seeing the love that original music is getting now, I don't think it's necessary to keep falling back. It's okay once in a while to do a remix, but it's no fun. That is something which will, I think, die down eventually. Indie music, I would say, is our independent pop, and I feel we also, as an industry, have come up so well. After the lockdown, I see independent songs doing numbers, name everything. You're talking about numbers on films. There are numbers on even independent pop artists who are blowing up. So that is something also we should respect. That people like Pratik Kuhad or Darshan Rawal or Badshah, Arman, everyone, all of them are doing their own music on their own face, not thinking whether we have to cross a certain barrier. But we're standing up in our own countries. We have our own indie pop, which is growing and glowing. So and we are becoming that music which even people from other countries are looking at. I see a lot of Korean producers. I saw some videos of them listening to Suraj Dubai and vibing to it. So we are managing to make that dent into their world, how they are making it into us. So it's good. More the merrier. I would love to have, someday collaborate with a K-pop artist. It would be crazy fun.
It was lovely talking to you, man. I got to learn a lot of things. I'm sure people who see this interview, they'll also learn a lot about the background score, what you talked about. Really looking forward to your work, man. Best of luck.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.